there has to be equal, right? You believe in that? There has to be
believe
equal.
in 50-50?
50-50, yes, because
That's bullshit.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. So what I believe is that the man has very equal value, to bring to the table as the woman.
Welcome, guys, back to the podcast. Let's talk about it. My name is James. I'm your host, and on today's episode, I have a very interesting guest named Alvin. How are we doing today, man?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
That's good. It's good to have you on, man.
Yes, sir.
It's good to have you on. For some of y'all who don't know Alvin, I'm about to introduce Alvin to y'all a little bit. He's a runner, motivated man of God, and most importantly, he likes to speak the truth. And there's nothing more that I like to do on this podcast, especially, is to have controversial conversations with people and to pick people's minds on topics and experiences, storytelling, all this kind of stuff. Alvin, I want to welcome you to Let's Talk About It, this podcast. So I'm gonna let you have a crack at the people for a minute.
Yes. Well, wow, what a great intro. Yes. Yeah, James, this is my first podcast. The thing is, not only are we, truth seekers and stuff, men of God,
Right.
It's a long life process, to come about the truth, and I'm 22. I graduated from Lee 2020, graduated as a Lee collegiate athlete as well.
Damn. God damn it.
Yes. I currently hold one of the fastest records all time.
Oh.
My high school.
Damn.
As well, yes. And I still run. I'm in current real training for half marathon and marathons. Yes, I completely love what I do, and I keep God.
Actually, about marathon, I'm thinking of joining one myself.
Yeah.
Seriously, no. This other day, I was going to Lee High School, and I had seen people just running, and there was a cop right there who was just guarding them, and also, so I stopped by. I was like, hey, I would like to know what this marathon is all about and all this kind of stuff, because I would like to join one of these days. I think it's always been a dream of mine, and like one of my bucket lists to actually go run a marathon and all this kind of stuff. But I mean, to see that you're actually training for one,
Yes, sir.
man, we're gonna have to put that to a test, people.
Yes,
Never
sir.
know.
And I always say running is like the very, very kind of sport that a lot of people can't do. It takes a lot of grit, heart, determination, and discipline. I'd say I like to teach and preach to my youth, because I want to be a coach as well. That once you can master discipline and the little things in life, just as going to do the hard things in life, callousing your mind. And I preach a lot of what callousing your mind is.
Right.
And what that is like basically training your mind to get used to doing the hard things. Because that's how you grow true strength in your mind to do a lot of things,
True.
Like, I've never ran a half marathon or a marathon, but I'm setting my mind to do that as well. And I'm training each and every single day, since January 1st. Last week was actually one of my craziest weeks, to be honest,
For
of
real?
training. Yes, I almost dropped 100 miles a week. I got 70 though.
Okay, you need to stop. What? 100 miles?
Yes.
Jesus Christ! 100 miles a week. How do you do
Yes.
that? Break that down. Like, I mean, do you do like 30 every day? I mean, how does that work?
Yes. So now I have to go into what my training looks like. So I took my training from high school, to be able to run, fast miles and stuff.
Right.
But now I'm implementing more mileage and even fast training workouts. So on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, those are my fast days where I run about 5 to 6 miles of hard running.
Okay.
And then Tuesdays and Thursdays are my long run days where I run on average about 10 to 12 miles on a day.
I mean, I got a question. 100 miles a week sounds intense. Doing
Yes.
that every week. So
Yes.
what is the mindset of somebody that runs every, you got to do that every week?
Yes.
What is that mindset going through that week? Are you just like, oh, let's get it, or I don't really want to be here?
So yeah, a lot of people wouldn't believe me when I tell them, I dread almost every single day. But like I said, it goes back to callousing your mind. I've learned and trained my mind actually to love to do the things that I hate.
Love to do the things that you hate.
Yes, because once you callous your mind and you understand that you're accomplishing something like running,
Right.
it not only releases endorphins in the brain, but it actually makes you feel accomplished in a way that I'm still trying to, even till this day, it mind boggles me. But I will say some tips that I got for even some people who are half marathon training. It's waking up in the mornings.
Waking up in the morning.
Yes,
That's the most difficult part.
Yes, I usually, like I said, I have 2 sessions on a daily basis.
Right.
Morning session and then like afternoon or even evening sessions.
True.
Yes, today it's really cold here in Midland, Texas, outside. I
Right.
hate running in the cold.
I ain't stepping outside, guys.
Yeah,
I did that.
so on these days I usually do treadmill training, but it is Saturday and I'm reaching the end of my week and I'm already at like 50 miles for this week. I'm only doing I'm taping this week. I'm only doing like 70 this week.
50 miles.
Yes.
I haven't run a mile this week.
Yes. But yes, the main idea, other than miles and all that, it's about, inspiring a new generation. I always say, not only do I want to be a coach and take my running to the next level as well, but I want to preach to the youth that, if I can do it, you can literally do it. James probably doesn't know this, but I am actually asthmatic. I had crazy asthma when I grew up as a kid.
Damn.
Yes, and I still ended up, conquering my demons, callousing my mind.
Jesus Christ.
And what I mean by that, is like I literally faced my demons. I played soccer growing up. I wasn't just a runner.
It didn't work that way though, did it?
My last year of soccer was a freshman year of Lee, and I wanted to be more of an independent athlete.
Right.
And I saw, the avenue and that window open with running as well.
You just decided to take that part.
Yes.
In all
Yes.
cases.
Yes, and it's by the grace of God, I don't care what you believe in, but like
Right.
the only reason I'm here even sitting, with my boy right here, James, is, all God, man.
I mean,
All God's
look,
plan.
I've seen what you could do. I think I could do better. Look,
Okay.
you don't believe
Yeah.
me? Go ahead.
No, yeah. So I believe everybody could do it. Yes.
No, I'm playing. I can't. This dude is absolutely. You're something else. Have you seen what you do? Have you take time to actually like dwell on what you do?
Yes.
Like I've seen you post your times that you run at and all this kind of stuff, and the way you do it, and the way you talk about the things that you do. I don't got nothing. I got not a single drop of what you got. Like, you go out there and you handle business.
Yes, sir.
Me, on the other hand, I stay here, man.
Yeah, people don't understand. It's not even just the distance, going the miles. It's how fast, we train our bodies to go. Like, for example, I take inspiration. I'm the kind of person who takes inspiration from others,
Right.
One of the 2 people that come to my head is David Goggins, believe it or not. People know how crazy.
David Goggins is crazy.
David Goggins
is crazy.
Yes, he's what I could say about David. He's reached levels of human mind, of levels of discipline that the average people can't even imagine. Even me myself, I can't. But also, like people like literally one of the best in the world, Eliud Kipchoge. He has the world record, or
Right.
one of the fastest world records for the marathon himself.
Right.
People don't understand. Like, you could look up videos right now of him running. He ran 26.2 miles at an average pace of 4 minutes and 36 seconds
4 minutes and 36 seconds
per mile. Yes.
I could do that.
Yeah. So it's a tremendous feat, and like I say, we're not just like a different kind of athletes, but we know how to push ourselves to that extra degree.
To the absolute limit.
Yes. To our limits.
even okay. What would you say for somebody that because like me right now, I do a lot of running myself. Just in case if you guys don't know, I compete with one of the greats up there. Why are you laughing?
Right. No. Yeah, it's because I see a beer belly. No, I'm just kidding. Nah.
Don't fucking tap me like that.
No,
It's not true. I myself, I'm a runner myself.
Yeah.
Alvin, you're not supposed to laugh to this stuff. You're not.
Oh, okay. No, yeah. I'm just, that's how I am. I play around with my
Nah, I'm just playing. On some real notes though, I do running. I've seen you in the gym.
Yeah, I believe it.
multiple
I've seen my
times,
boy.
and we've run together and all kinds on the treadmill. But I can't say the same for outside because you ain't gonna catch me doing that. Maybe one of these days, maybe I need to. But I guess my question for you is, how do you absolutely get to that level of, because you were talking about 100 miles a week. We still got to go back on that. How do you get to that level of like, you know what needs to be done, but you know some days your body is not gonna wanna it's not gonna want to respond the way you want to. How do you push yourself past that limit? How do you go, you know what, let's go, let's get this thing done, let's get on the road and all this kind of stuff. Where did that even come from? Like,
that's a great question. Yeah, so I'd say I just have an extra level of inspiration and motivation. You know, I've been through a lot of hard things in my life. Even a lot of professional runners themselves, they've been through a lot in life, right?
Damn.
So what I do is I just simply look at my life and I want to be better than I was the person yesterday. And I take great pride, and I love to see myself get stronger, you know? So in a way, I want to like be different. I strive to be different as well. I want to prove to people, and like, you know, in myself, first of all, important.
Right.
You got to prove to yourself, you know, what I'm capable of. You know, I already have prior, you know, years of experience with running as well, you know, so I just want to take it to the next level, you know, and not just my training. But every morning, I tell you, when it's hard to wake up, you know what I'm saying? Like, even me, I struggle to wake up sometimes,
Right.
I have to remind myself. A lot of people say, you know, oh, you have to look at yourself like, you know, stop being a bitch, right? And stuff like that. But I tell myself, you know, I want to be the greatest person I can make, you know, I'm zoning out into my own world. I'm not even comparing to anybody, right?
Nobody.
You got to look at yourself, right? Because we live in a social media age where it's like everybody like just compares themselves to like the greats and stuff. But, you know, I'm like, what can I do to be a step better than I was, you know, yesterday and like years before, you know? And it's just like, once you go through the pain, that's the thing that people don't understand, and a lot of people aren't willing to go through the pain. You got to be willing to callous your mind and go through the fire, put yourself through those hard circumstances to get better. Now, where the magic takes place is once you do that day in and day out and on a weekly basis, it gets easier. Believe it or not. Yeah. It's
they don't know it get easier for us, you know, the top dogs out here, you know.
Yes.
They don't know.
And when I first started, it was tough. It was really tough. We're talking about, oh my God, like my real running journey started whenever I was in junior high. Actually, I got inspired in elementary. My coach, my PE coach, he was actually a really good coach, believe it or not. He wasn't, you know, a running coach or anything, but he already installed in me the mindset of, you know, coming from an asthmatic background and stuff, you know, he really installed to me like, wow, my body and my mind is you know, we could do a lot more than we think, you know. Yeah, we're much more stronger than what our minds tell us to do.
Much more stronger than what we think we're even capable of.
I'm telling you, first place. Day in and day out, I consistently surprise myself every day in real time.
And that's through you signing up for that thing in the first place, right? That's you learning through that process of like, okay, I show up every day and all this, not knowing what the result could be, but I'm surprising myself.
Yes, and that's another important aspect. People, you know, they're scared to, you know, take the first step because they're scared of the unknown. You gotta like, fearlessness is a very important thing. We're gonna go into the topic of fearlessness now. Yeah, so like there's many just fears surrounding, you know, not just in running but in your life in general. When I boiled it down, you know, a lot of the things that are stopping people is just fear itself, you know, fear to go out and do that new job, you know, fear of failure. You know, you got to be willing to do that work seriously with, just like you said, you know, with no results guaranteed, but simply because you love it yourself. And people don't understand, you know, I love what I do, you know, like I told you earlier, because
I mean, I've seen you.
Yes,
you ain't got to put it out there. I've seen you, brother.
Like, people, if there's one thing I want to tell people, you have to know what it feels like to feel like a badass once in your life.
Taking yourself to that ultimate level.
Yes, that's how I feel.
You know, actually, one of the greatest person I like to listen to, he said, there's something beautiful. The hardest thing you could do as a person is working as hard as you did yesterday, knowing that you don't have no guarantee results. That's the hardest thing. The hardest thing is to wake up and be like, yo, I'm ready to put in the fucking work, you know, to be better than what I was yesterday.
Yes.
And I didn't get the result that I get yesterday, but guess what? I'm still willing to fucking show up, man.
Yes.
And fucking go up from there.
And just show up. Yes. Like with no guarantee of success. And that's the thing. You gotta like forget your past as well. You know, you gotta just focus on your future and what you got in the present. That's what's so amazing.
The way your mind works is awesome. It's something I've always looked at, and I'm like, damn,
sir.
You know,
I appreciate it.
I think that's dope and all this kind of stuff. But on here, I do have a couple questions that I want to pick your mind on and all this kind of stuff.
Let's get it.
What is your take on people who's having kids before marriage?
Okay, that's a good question. Yes. So that literally comes from a lack of discipline already, first and straight.
Lack of discipline. That's what you said.
Yes, and it comes from the human ego, believe it or not, as well. Impatiency, because we don't understand as men that we need to focus on ourselves and grow ourselves, you know, not just financially, but in life as well, before we could take that action step, you know, of having marriage and kids as well. And the fascinating thing about it is, very interesting thing, James, is that people don't understand the levels that exist out there to reach, you know, as a human being.
Right.
You know, our generation is caught up just on the materialistic things, you know, pursuits of cars, you know, money and stuff. But what if I told you, you know, there's something more fulfilling and, you know, that can make you happier, you know, than all the materialistic? You know, that's where, you know, it brings us to the topic of spirituality, you know,
I mean, But what would you say to the guys that are like, oh yeah, it's not necessary for me to marry, you know, I don't necessarily have to be in paper with somebody, you know?
Yeah, there's a lot of people who have that toxic mindset.
Oh, you think it's toxic? No. It's a free, you know.
Yeah, well, not necessarily toxic. Well, when you look at it from a religious standpoint, yes, it could be toxic, you know, to people. But me, I'm free spirited. I want to put that first and foremost, you know. Yeah, it could raise a lot of eyebrows to the newer generations. There's a lot of us youth, you know, a lot of our youth that want to be, you know, with each other without marriage and stuff.
Right.
I will say marriage is kind of expensive too, and you have to like sign a contract.
Damn right it is.
You have to sign a contract, right? So like it's like a state thing or whatever.
Right.
So I'm kind of neutral towards it. I don't like so disagree or agree with it. You're not a bad person because I don't judge, right?
Right.
You do that, right? You could do, you know, to each his own. But yeah, it's just very interesting. I still ask myself too, you know, marriage is important, you know, to the older generations. But yeah, like it's very interesting when you see like our generation is drifting off more away from marriage.
But I mean, don't you think like there are some big disadvantages from that though? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I mean, I've looked around, you know, and I've seen a lot of our generations having kids.
Yes.
And like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I love this guy and all this kind of shit. But down the line, you ask them, hey, how long have you guys been together? They be like, you know, we've been together 8 years, 7 years. What happened? Where's the ring? You know, are you a wife yet? And all this kind of shit. Not necessarily pressuring them off that, but it's just like, you know, you just asking questions and they look at you and just go, they have no answer. You know, it's like they have no answer to that and all this kind of stuff.
Now, oh my God, so this is very interesting. Yeah, so nowadays, in my personal opinion, it's the dating scene in the game is like flipped kind of in many ways, you know.
That's true.
It's harder, you know, because a lot of women to themselves, they just look for the materialistic pursuits in a man. They look at how much money he has, how much he
for
can
the Gucci bag.
provide.
He talking about you.
Yes. So I hate to say it, you know, I hate to think about it, you know, but it's pretty rare. If you find your one, right? Yes, by all means, marry her.
Yeah. I mean, because obviously, like I think as a guy, I think we know if we want to marry somebody or not. Don't you think?
Yes.
Like we know. There's gonna be
We know.
yeah, we know
That's true.
if we want to marry you or not. And also, but to see people just like, obviously just be in that relationship, I feel like, I mean, a lot of people, this is my own personal opinion, I think a lot of people that says they have something about marriage and all this kind of stuff, you're willing to have a lifelong commitment or an agreement or a living person with that person,
Yes.
but you're not willing to sign a paper. You know what I'm saying? You're willing
Yeah.
to have kids with this person, because kids don't stop at 18.
Yeah, they don't stop at 18.
Kids
That's
don't.
true.
They're with you forever. You know what I'm saying? They're
Yeah.
with you forever and all this kind of. So
Yeah.
to see people willing to make that, to see people willing to make that, what should I call it? To make that, that sacrifice. That okay, I'm cool with having kids with you, but I'm not cool with marrying you. But it just to me, it just shows like we're losing the value of what marriage is in our society.
It's kind of sad, even disappointing in the aspect of, yeah, like the majority of us are like just young and dumb, full of cum, right? And we don't understand. We like what's undervalued. We don't see the responsibility it really takes, to be a father and take care of another living being. Like you said, you'll take care of that person, this living child, for the rest of your life.
Right.
So we need to be more careful, and it all just stems from being conscious, aware, I say that right, of your decisions that you're making on a daily basis.
Being constant aware of your decisions that we make on a daily basis.
Yes.
What is do you have does marriage mean something particularly to you? What is your definition of marriage? Because I feel like a lot of people's definition of marriage has changed. Because a lot of guys be like, yeah, marriage is just it's just signing papers and all this kind of stuff. I don't think it is. I think it's way bigger than that. You know what I mean?
First and foremost, marriage should be something beautiful. I believe that marriage is something very beautiful, but it's just, it's deeper than marriage, I would say. It's just simply, the attraction towards one of another. Even to just get to the spot of, marriage, I believe nowadays a man already has to have a certain amount of income, right? Has to be able to provide already, so in our generation, it's just like, through this might be biased in my point, right? But it's we're suffering inflation, everything's getting more expensive. It's there's a huge gap, like the wealth gap. It's separating more and more.
Huge gap of wealth.
So yeah, it's just very interesting. It's not impossible, right? But it's just harder to get to marriage. And I say that because even myself, we're still looking for, the one and stuff, and to all my guys, I actually want to give y'all something, don't settle just for one. I know that cheesy saying that people say,
what do you mean by that, gang? What do you mean don't settle just for one?
No. I'm gonna say that again.
Settle for two?
No. I mean, there's plenty of fish in the sea, right? When you get rejected, so many guys get bummed out, just off of this one girl, and like they forever, just like enter depression just off of this one girl. You gotta understand and see the prosperity, and chances of finding your real one, so don't just get
right. Well, he's talking to you. You know yourself.
Yes, and like I said, don't. Another disgusting thing that I see a lot of my guys doing is they judge their value off of what a woman thinks of them. They over pedestalize our woman, right? But you don't see your value as a man. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah, I think that makes perfect sense of what you say. You see a lot of what in the world right now. There's a fight in between the woman and man. Oh my God, man should be this, man should be that, and all that stuff. And but the minute the men start coming back at them and be like, okay, you know what? Oh my God, women should be doing this, women should be doing that.
And I still ask myself, I wonder what's the true root, and what do you think is the real problem of this masculine and femininity crisis, between both genders? Like, what's the problem, root cause of that?
I think the real cause of it is parental. It is parental. When you look at it, a lot of people don't have a role model of love. they don't have an idea of what love is. You know, they don't even have somebody in their life that's properly loved somebody, and they could look up to and be like, dang, you know, I could do that too. You know, a lot of homes are broken.
They are.
And that's when, you know, when I was asking that question, is it okay to be having kids without marriage and all this kind of stuff? Like, you know, because often the times I've seen situations like that whereby mom got pregnant at 16 and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Or like very, very young. No shame to anybody out there and all this kind of stuff. But I'm just saying, like, as a parent, we are role models. The things that you do in life, your mistakes, your kids don't listen. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, when you tell a kid don't touch a fire, they're not gonna listen to that. They want to do that because guess what? They're curious. They're so curious of what that is. So as a parent, your life is an example. They won't listen to what you say. Oh my God, don't go that way, don't do this, don't do that. No. They're looking at you as a role model and be like, what have you done? You know what I'm saying? What have you done? What have you?
That's deep right there.
I find this disturbing when I'm talking to a lot of people and then they just like, oh yeah, you know what? I mean, it's no biggie. My mom got pregnant at 16. Like, you know what I'm saying? No, I mean,
they brush that off.
Yes, right. Like they find an escape to that. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I think there should be, that's why I was asking you that question. I think there should be a proper way to keeping our generations from being a baby mama, baby daddy. It's exhausting out here.
And then there's also the significant others that blame it on the other sex, on the other side, you know, and that's what we need to do in general. We need to accept responsibilities, you know, for our actions, understand the costs.
Yeah, you're right about that. And, you know, like I said, but most of our problems we can talk so much about, oh yeah, what the female side should do, you know, what the male side should do, but most of the problems is because it's just parental, you know, and you can't say for so many people out there and all those kinds, like I said, a lot of broken homes, a lot of dad wasn't around.
Yeah, and when I see that, I just, you know, it breaks my heart.
Right, absence of dad or absence of mom, single parent home, and all those kinds of stuff. So now tell me, somebody growing up like that and all this kind of stuff, you don't have an idea of what love is. Because guess what? Your parents were not even, you know what I'm saying? They're not even together. They're broken. Or dad is cussing moms out on the phone and you can hear it. And you're 5 years old. Mommy's saying you're a piece of shit, this and all this. I mean, so please tell me, if you see those kind of things growing up as a kid, what are you likely going to grow up into?
Yeah, dude.
You know,
lack of love, right. Stems from pure lack of love. And
true, because if there's somebody there to guide you and be like, yo, and you seeing your parents, the way your parents care for each other, the way they talk to each other, non-disrespectfully and all this kind of stuff, you probably gonna grab a thing or two from their relationship. And guess what? You're gonna take it into whatever relationship that you're going into, and you're gonna be able to see this toxic traits that are coming from the other person. You're gonna be able to know your definition of what I want and what I don't want. Because I've seen, talking about that too, I've seen a lot of people put up with what they don't want. Like, you know what I'm saying? Early in the relationship, they using, you know, cuss words for each other and all this kind of stuff. People find it so funny right now when they just, oh yeah, that's my bitch, or that's my this. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Right. If that person is calling you that's my bitch and all this, they, you know, if an argument comes on and you guys are going back and forth with each other, you can probably lay hands on each other. You know, that's a slight thing that disturbs me really truly about our generation, is like, there has to be a parent respect, you know, huge respect for each other.
Right. Yes.
This question I want to ask you is, if society expectation of a man is to be a provider in the household, you know?
Yes.
Provider, protector, what do we call it? The golden, you know, whatever it is, the golden person in the household, and also the leader.
Yes, the leader.
Exactly. And then what is society expectation of a woman?
That's a really good question, and I remember you actually saying that on one of your other podcasts.
Right.
There has to be equal, you know, right? You believe in that? There has to be
equal. You believe in 50-50?
50-50, yes, because
That's bullshit.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. So what I believe is that the man has very equal value, you know, to bring to the table as the woman. There are women out here who believe, you know, that, you know, their man should just do everything, you know, for them and stuff like that.
You know yourself, Tanisha. You know yourself.
But actually, I'm curious too, right? So I want to pick your brain as well. So why do you believe that's bullshit, the 50-50?
That's a very, very good question. I don't believe in 50-50. I believe in 100 and 100.
Oh,
100 on each
yes.
side. Because look, 50 means I'm literally putting my feet in the water, but guess what? My other feet is outside, just in case if something happens.
Yeah.
I can get up and run. That's what I mean. That's what
sure.
I think. I think 50-50 is. I was watching the show. This is where I learned 50-50 was bullshit. I was watching the show. And it's called The Ultimatum. It's called The Ultimatum. Very, very good show. I'm gonna just describe what it is. Basically, the partner, they've been together for many years, but guess what? When it comes to marriage, one want to marry, the other one doesn't want to get married. So guess what? They go on the show giving them ultimatum, saying, hey, if you don't marry me, you rather marry me right now or move on. You get what I'm saying? You marry me or we done. That's literally what the show is about. So these partners, they got on the show and all this kind of stuff. The lady was the one saying, hey, if you don't marry me right now, I don't want to do this no more. The guy was like, hey, I'm not financially stable enough and all this kind of stuff. But honestly, when you look into that deeper, you know, when the show was starting and everything was going on, there was more to just that. There was more freaking problems.
Yeah.
And all this kind of stuff. Come to find out the problem was the woman was a pleaser. She was the one, you know, she cares about his emotions. She cares about how his day was, you know, and all this kind of stuff. And then there was another couple too. But in reverse to that, the guy was the one giving the woman ultimatum. But on this show, everybody that gives each other ultimatum come together and they kind of get into they break up with their partner from outside the show and get within, they choose someone within that show to get with, to date. So there were these two that they were both pleasers in their relationship. You know, they care about their partner. They ask about how their day was. They go beyond, on and beyond for their partner. But then these two were together. They were dating. So basically they were dating in the relationship.
Right.
The thing I found out was prior to their previous relationship, they were doing things differently because they were both pleasers. They were pleasing their part. They were pleasing each other, complimenting each other, going on dates, doing everything that now in this generation, it seems like hard work. Basically, they were just sharing responsibilities in the relationship that they were in.
Wow. Yeah.
So different from what they were in their past relationship. And the magical moment was everything was just working so smoothly. They were having good time. No arguments. They didn't even argue. In their past relationship, they can't go a day without arguing.
Oh man. Yeah.
They can't go a day without arguing. But guess what?
Yeah.
They didn't argue in that relationship. And that's when I was like, okay, you know what? If you actually come prepared and show up and drop all the BS on the door and say, you know what? I want to be with this person. I love this person. Things would not be a burden to you. Like, you know what I'm saying? You won't be like, oh yeah, she didn't text me back, so guess what? I'm not gonna double text her. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
No, you just want to check up on the person. Like, you know what I'm saying? Things just comes to you. The things that don't really matter, they don't matter to you because you just want to love the person. Yes. You know, and that's the things I recognize, and that's the thing that I think like is so much different from prior to the other generation to this generation. Because if you listen to what a lot of people say, it don't make no sense. You don't want to double text somebody. What is double texting? It don't even make.
He's texting game, bro. I'm over it, bro. It's
for real. It don't make no sense. Double texting and all those things. It don't matter. Maybe the person was busy and all, but guess what? Just some girls out there they take it personal if you don't text them back within 5 minutes.
Oh,
You
wow.
might be busy.
Yeah, you may legitimately be busy. Yes. Yo,
You for real, you might be busy, you know, but people don't understand. Like it's like we count the things that really don't make sense. Nowadays, we make it such a big deal.
yes.
In the
yes.
sense whereby, like, that's why, and I think that's why we don't even get to discover what true love could be, because guess
Yes.
what?
Oh my
Like, you
goodness.
know,
Wow.
you're detaching yourself from the beginning. You see a lot of girls be like, oh yeah, he gave me the hick. What the hell is hick? No, on some serious note, man.
Yeah, no.
What the hell is the hick? What is the hick? That I heard that stuff on the internet, and everybody just started running with it. Oh, you give me the hick.
That's how
Your
the internet
face
works.
look this way. You give me the hick. You haven't even get to know the person. You haven't talked to the person. You haven't
Yeah,
seen the way
it's-
their mindset works.
You
and all
see,
that.
yeah, like social media is like done a good number on, you know, destroying, you know, like first and foremost, I want to go say the simple saying that, you know, we got to stop assuming, like, because there's a huge difference between real life and social media.
True.
You know, like like social media, for example, I took a good break on it. I'm not gonna lie. Like throughout since January 1st, I only get on there, you know, just to, you know, text my people, communicate with my people. You know, we want to hit up, you want to do something. Heck, people don't even want to do something things nowadays.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah, they just
I
want
mean,
to text. That's it. They want to leave in.
they want to play their games, man. When in all reality, you know, like I just want to talk to you. You know, like even
Right.
face to face is different energy.
Right,
You
right.
know, so what scares me and mind boggles me about one of the biggest traps that we're all falling into right now is, you know, just taking social media so serious. You know, like social media is just, it should be, you know, to talk to one another, just like I said, you know,
Right.
to meet up in person and get things going, you know, establish deeper connections. And you can't just do that just by, you know, texting. I mean, because granted, people are busy on a daily basis, right?
No,
But-
in addition to that, though, I just want to say, whoever created Tinder, fuck you.
Oh,
Fuck you,
Tinder,
man.
bro, it got you.
No. I'm just being honest,
Yeah.
because you know, I was on Tinder. I'll accept it. I've been on. I've seen. I've tried to test the water of what the dating world was like.
Oh, yeah, me
it's just
too.
it's just not real.
It's not.
It's not real. The reason why I said it's not real is because you text people, they don't text back, and all this kind of stuff. And people just like the attention that they get from the other gender, and all this kind of stuff. You know what I did? I've never deleted an app so fast in my life.
Yeah.
I clicked it. I was like, yeah, this is not it, man. This is not it.
I don't know if you can tell by my face, but I'm just done with the texting social media games. Like, you know, it's just like I said before prior to it, you know,
Right.
most of the problems in our youth do stem from social media.
Oh, yeah.
I would say
Oh,
most
yeah.
of the problems.
True.
So what do? You know, even myself, I get annoyed and even pissed at the fact, you know, because a couple months ago, I actually went through, you know, a little bit of a breakup with somebody that I was talking to, right? Whenever these problems arise, what do? I go get a run in. I go get a workout in. You know, I blow steam off. Yeah. So that's a very important lesson that I need to establish here in, you know, your podcast, because when life gets hard, we like to dwell, you know, in the pity, you know, in the sad. Who does that? Like, where they do that at, right? You know, bro, like people like me and you that are serious, goal minded,
Right.
oriented, like, you know, first and foremost, like I gave up, you know, on, you know, trying to, you know, just like, what's it called? You know, ego post on social media. I'm not on social media for myself. I'm on social media to inspire, you know, motivate, you know, talk business, you know,
Right.
make money moves, you know what I'm saying? For real. So, and like people just need to get busy. Like they need to do something productive, establish a daily routine, you know,
Actually,
to fix their
talking
thought
about
patterns.
being productive on social media.
Yeah.
I was talking to one of my friends this day, and she was complaining about her not getting a boyfriend and all this kind of stuff. Like, she's like, yeah, you know, men ain't shit. Men ain't doing this.
Yeah.
All they just want is, they just want to, you know, they just want to F me and all this kind of, they just want to fuck and all this kind of. I was like, I mean, they were just being sexual to me. So, you know what?
Yeah.
One thing, what I told her was, first of all, what do you post? on your social media. Let me see your post.
What do you post? Yes.
What do you post? And she pulled out her phone, gave it to me, showed me on Instagram.
Yeah.
Bro, the first 3 posts were this girl in just full on undies in the front of a mirror. Now, I got a question for you, Alvin.
Yeah.
Coming from, let's say just pure guys and all this kind of stuff out there, the world is evil.
Yes.
Now, if somebody sees that, what is the first thing they're gonna think? I see you. All your posts is about sexual stuff. You have no personality at all, and it's just all sexual, including your stories. You have one ass cheek on top of the counter, and one ass cheek on on the other side, and all this kind of stuff. What do you expect? People, you're promoting something.
Yeah.
You promote. Yeah. You attract what you promote.
So first and foremost, you're playing with fire as a woman. You don't understand. You're playing a dangerous game because, the male's attraction, towards the other gender or other sex is no joke. We're willing to do anything, and like that brings us to the topic that sex isn't the same. For us guys and us girls. And first and foremost, like, man, every time I hear a story like that, bro, like, of a woman, falling into the trap mindset of thinking that, all guys are dogs, they just want me for sex and stuff. Look at what you're literally doing. You're triggering, the most, important aspect. It doesn't matter what kind of guy it is, like even myself, even I, will want to fuck.
You can say it.
Really want to fuck, like... How do you expect us?
You can say,
Yeah, like, bro, how do you expect us to take you serious? Yeah, like how? Because you're more than just, first and foremost, you're more than just that. You're more than just your body,
right? And
what's your mindset?
Right. That's exactly what I was telling her. I was like, yo, you can post funny stuff, right? We've talked. You're a funny person. You can post more than what you're posting. Now, I'm not saying it like, oh yeah, like you shouldn't post here and there. But if it's like a daily, like it's literally what you're just content just full about, don't complain about how mans are in your DMs talking about, oh yeah, like that ass is fat. Because in reality, that's what you're promoting. That's what you're promoting. And
exactly.
You can get some guys that they're gonna buy you this, buy you that, but if your goal is to settle down and your idea of love and all this kind of stuff, you might want to look in the other direction and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I actually have a really good question for you right now.
What's up, man?
So, bro,
What's up?
Because a lot of things, that happen in our society, with this as well. To me, I just look at it as a game, like a big joke. Like, like we should already be past this, we should be well evolved more to our, spiritual levels,
you think that, but we're not.
Yeah, bro, that's what I'm saying.
Behind, man.
Like I tell you, one of the biggest travesties that exists right now in our young youth is that we don't know what we're capable of. We don't know like our magnificence, what the true power that's inside of us, man.
Right.
We don't. Like I established that, even with running, even myself, with inspirations like David Goggins, all that. But tapping into the aspect of sexuality again.
Right.
When you go to the gym, bro, right? And what do you think about these girls, that are like in their yoga pants and all that?
Respectfully, I chose not to. When I'm in the gym, I'm tunnel vision.
Exactly. Yes.
I'm tunnel vision. I came there. I'm tunnel vision to the point that some people see me work. Some people see me walking, and they're like, yo, you good? Like, I'm here, like, me. Yeah. It's just because I try not to look at nowhere and just,
Same.
My face is just all in front. Now, admiring somebody's physiques and all this kind of stuff. I've done it here and there, but not in a perverted way of, oh yeah, that ass is fat or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm just probably, damn, she got a strong back.
The reason why I asked that question too is because one of the most annoying things I've seen recently in social media is these women, like, they put themselves out there like a fishing line, in the gyms. They record themselves and they try to catch guys that are like, looking.
I've seen
that's the most cringiest, one of the cringiest things in right now.
No, I've seen videos like that. I think if you're in a public gym I think you should be, everybody has right to be there. It's public for a reason.
Yes.
Now, if you don't like, I'm not saying the guys. I mean, there's been some that perverts and all this kind of stuff, obviously, but like, not everybody that is just looking at you. Just it's their head thoughts is not, oh yeah, damn, we trying to fuck her. No, they might just be looking at you. Oh, damn, she got a silverback.
Yeah, and best believe people like me and James, we're tunnel vision. We don't go to the gym, trying to like be not be social, but focus more so on our goals.
I'm social when it comes to the gym.
Yeah,
I'm social,
it's good to be social,
but the way I just move, it makes it seem like I'm not social at all. Because I don't look at nobody. I just go get that work in. Now some of my friends will be at the corner and be like, "Yo, I was waving at you,"
Yeah, even me, right? You see me.
You're right. I'm like, yo. I'm sorry. My mind and everything is just off everything, and I'm just focused on getting this weight up and getting to work.
Which is why I have another good question for you, bro.
Yes, sir.
So, on a percentage scale, or like 1 to 10, how many people do you believe actually are taking our youth, actually, not just people in general, right?
Right.
How many of us do you think are actually taking our life serious and goal oriented, and even just that?
Don't do them like that. Don't do them like that.
Man,
that's a very, very good question. Going back to that dating word and all this kind of stuff, one of the reasons why I had to get off the app was because I just realized almost every single person I was talking to had no goals, no dreams. Like, you ask them, hey, what do you want to do for a living? Or, what do you see yourself in the next 10 years?
Some of them don't even know.
They don't know. I mean, okay, so first of all, there was this girl I was talking to back then. She was staying at her uncle's house. I don't mind you saying, oh yeah, my uncle got me and all this. And she was like, yeah, my uncle got me. I was like, what about work? She was like, my uncle got me. What about school? My uncle got me. Is she going to school? No, she doesn't want to go to school. She doesn't want to look for a job and all this kind of stuff. Like, she just want to be dependent on her uncle. Now, where I find the problem with that is your family member might stretch out hands for you and all this, but at least you still got to have plans in your head on how you want to improve yourself as a person. And that's why I was just like, okay, you're willing to buy weed, and be smoking and all this kind of stuff, but you're not willing to take your life serious. Where do you see yourself? She was like, I don't know. And I was like, she doesn't know nothing. I was just like, my preference obviously is really not her and all this. So never blocked somebody so fast in my life. straight up like that. I don't even think the conversation even handed. Before I was just like, oop, the red button.
And can I get this out of the way?
Yes, sir. Come on.
No, bro, like, hopefully people who watch this podcast, y'all understand, we're here to really make an impact. We're here to inspire y'all. And, if you're not on the right path, redirect you, no judgments here, like, we're here, to really make an impact, man, and, this, I call it the matrix, the system, this false belief of how we're supposed to be living. I call it that, has indoctrinated our minds, has infected our minds really, really bad, man, and what it is like, it just stems from being undisciplined. You got to just be disciplined, and focused. A lot of our visions are just obscured. Our minds are just filled with all this BS, and that's what we have to do. And honestly, it all starts from, taking this, not deleting it, but, taking these social medias, and just putting it down,
Take a breather.
Yes, take a breather. And it all starts in here. Take a breather, and, how many people actually nowadays, like, really think about this? How many people actually sit down and contemplate, and people don't understand the power of it, because you're getting in touch with God. It's like praying as well. How many of y'all pray on a daily basis? I pray very, very every day before I set out, to do a workout, and that's why I say, God, he's the one that's giving me the strength to do it, man.
Right.
And people think, man, our youth just probably thinks that, Christianity, religion, all this spiritual woo-woo nonsense,
Right.
is just nonsense. But bro, like, look at what we've been able to do in our life. I don't know about you, but I'm happy. I'm very happy.
I'm definitely happy too. I think my happiness came from like obviously focusing on myself, self improvements, and all this kind of stuff. I've seen how far I've gone from back then to where I am now.
Amen.
And all this kind of stuff. And it's just it keeps on getting better. Like, and that's what I love. It keeps on getting better. It keeps on getting better for Mr. Alvin too. Hey, let me know. You guys heard a question from Mr. Alvin himself. He said, who is to be blamed for this chaos going on into the dating world and all this kind of stuff? Is it the men's side or the female side? Please.
Yeah, and that's a good question, but I like to add too, because people, misconstrued a lot of things on the internet as well, right? I'm unbiased, okay? Like
he's open-minded. That's what
I'm open-minded. I'm free-spirited, to looking at different points of views, and like I said, that's simply what I'm all about. Right. Just improvement, and it's it's not that our world is completely, destroyed or anything like that. Like I said, we have many good things out here, but we could always make it better. Well, hey, you've heard it from me. You've heard it from this episode. I'm telling you.
I hope you guys enjoy it. I wish you guys enjoy it. Please let me know what you guys think. Maybe in the future, maybe we're gonna have Mr. Alvin back on and all this kind of stuff.
Yes, sir.
Man.
Follow me on Instagram, guys. If you made it this far, I really appreciate you. I love you so much.
Yes, sir.
At Alvin Avila the One.
Yay, you heard it. Hey, I really want to say thank you so much for taking your time out of the day to come here and all this kind of stuff. I really appreciate it, and I hope and I wish that the people enjoy you as I much did on this podcast. Hey, guys, until next time on Let's Talk About It.
Very, very good bad boy is all she wants. A man that is handsome, 6 pack, 6 figure.